from the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
You say you need me, but I've a lot to learn. Maybe you'll teach me. Maybe you'll teach me, but I've run out of cheeks to turn. I run out of cheeks to turn.
It's a week of Friday, October 14th, 2016, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Casper, a sleep brand that created one perfect mattress sold directly to consumers, eliminating commission-driven, inflated prices. Its award-winning sleep surface has a sleek design and is delivered in a small, how do they do that, sized box. In addition to the mattress, Casper also offers an adaptive pillow and soft, breathable sheets.
I need a pillow.
They are revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with resellers and showrooms and passing that savings directly to the consumer.
Tell me more about these pillows.
The pillow is unbelievable.
I gotta get one.
I'm not kidding. Cohen has the Casper mattress in the house and the Casper sheets and the Casper pillow.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, story time is heavenly.
Now, I'm a stomach sleeper, so I need a pillow that has a little bit of, like, I'm getting into the specifics of the pillow. I don't want just
Wait.
like,
When you're on your stomach, you still use a pillow? You don't go straight to mattress?
That's kind of weird. Wait, do you turn your head to the side, or is this a face down situation?
no, because I don't want to die while I sleep. But yeah, so I turn my head to the side.
Okay.
Stomach, so, tummy down, head to the side on the pillow, but I need a pillow that has firmness, but a little bit of give.
Real smush, but it doesn't go flat.
This is what I'm saying.
That's the Casper pillow. I'm telling you. Time Magazine named Casper mattress one of the best inventions of 2015. It's an award-winning mattress that won't disappoint. It combines springy latex and supportive memory foam to create the award-winning sleep surface.
That's what it is that memory foam is what I gotta have.
It has just the right sink and just the right bounce. I can attest to this.
I've seen Relevant Podcast listeners tweet about how satisfied they are with their Casper mattress.
That is true.
Pillows have been a huge problem for me.
Casper has free shipping and returns to the U.S. and Canada, and you can try Casper for 100 nights risk-free in your own home. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything. And if it matters to you, these things are made in America. Right now, Relevant Podcast listeners, you can get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/relevant and using promo code relevant. Terms and conditions apply.
One more question. Can you order just pillows or a pillow with an add-on item?
The $50 only is for a mattress purchase, but you can go to casper.com/relevant and they have great deals and free shipping for pillows, sheets, everything. Their sheets are fantastic.
There's no reason why it's not called Casper the Friendly Mattress. I got that. Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I will say this. There is a reason, and they made the right decision there.
Like I said, I'm your host, Cameron, and here with me in our Orlando studios, Eddie Big Cat Koffel.
Yes, getting the band
Welcome
back together.
back.
Thank you.
Over there on the ones and twos, our producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello.
And all the way from Portland, Oregon, back again, Joy Eggerichs Reed.
Joy Bam Bam Eggerichs Reed.
Present.
Her hair is looking very much like a Flintstones character.
Like Bam Bam.
Yeah.
I was inspired.
On the show today, we have a great show coming up. We talked to the new host of Prairie Home Companion, Chris Thile. He takes over this weekend for Garrison Keillor, and he's on the show today.
This is the best. I've been Nickel Creek. I almost said Nickelback. Not at all.
Yeah.
Nickel Creek fan since they were really young. Then Punch Brothers, who I love. Yeah. And I've been listening to Prairie Home Companion since I was a kid. So the fact that he's on this is very exciting to me. Mind blown.
And I don't want to give too much away about the interview, but I had so much fun talking to him because he is a deep guy that's concerned not just about good music, but also religion and faith and the legacy of something like Prairie Home Companion. Like Garrison Keillor, just for a little context, recently retired. He created the show back. It's been on the air since the 60s, right? He's handing it over to Chris Thile, who's in his mid-30s, who wants to do a lot of like fresh things and bring in. His first musical guest is Jack White, which is not the type of artist you would typically tune in to hear on Prairie Home Companion. But he's taking the show in a really interesting direction that I think people in our audience is going to be really excited to hear from him about.
How do you think like the voice transition is going to be? Because I feel like Garrison has such a unique voice that people love. Does this guy have a great voice? Obviously he's a singer, but
he's hosted a few times already and kind of in preparation for this. It's clearly a different sound. I don't know if he's going to do like Later Will Be Gone.
He's still a heavy nose breather like Garrison. That was the requirement.
Yeah. He still talks like this.
That's the worst Garrison Keillor I've ever heard.
Brought to you by the Ketchup Advisory Board.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And the buttermilk biscuits. It's like a bubblegum. It's perfect. I nailed it. Hey, Cameron, joke's on you. That was a clip from Garrison Keillor. So Garrison's on the line.
Also coming up later, we have some fun news, in-house news. We have a couple new members on our editorial team, and they will. We're going to get to know them a little bit later. Yeah. Rebecca and Chelsea, and this week was a big week. This is a big week in the presidential debate arena. There was a town hall. There was a town hall earlier where the audience could ask questions, right? Mm-hmm. And we thought that there was some unfinished business.
I thought it was a good moment.
There was a lot of
America.
things that they didn't get to.
I knew what they were going to say for every question.
Right. We're going to pick up the baton where they left it off. And Chelsea Steele, one of the new members of our team, is going to join us. And we are going to have the Relevant Podcast Town Hall 2, The Reckoning, all the questions that Ken Bone didn't have the guts to ask. And she's going to be soliciting all the questions from you guys, our listeners, and bring them to the podcast crew. And we're going to solve them. We're going to solve America today. Mm-hmm. So Chelsea will be joining us for that one. But, whenever new people join the team, especially ones that will appear on the podcast, whether it be in interviews or segments or whatever, we want to take a moment to get to know them. Mm-hmm. And so, we thought we'll meet Chelsea later in the show, but we thought it'd be good to bring in Rebecca Flores, and who's our new managing editor here at Relevant, and get to know her a little bit. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thanks, Cameron. Excited to be here.
So we have a few questions for you. We feel like since you're going to be like on, and you're now in the ecosystem, and the audience is going to be hearing you from time to time, they should get to know you. And Eddie and Joy and Jesse have some questions for you.
Okay, cool.
What were you doing before Relevant?
I was in New York City for 5 years, and over there I was doing editorial work. We're living in Brooklyn. And just got back to Orlando, so I'm reconciling my southern roots now.
Oh, well, cool. Brooklyn's so cool.
She was at a warehouse party in Bushwick recently. Was living the hipster dream.
You're not letting that go.
Did you see the Statue of Liberty? While you were in New York?
No, I missed that one.
You really did. Yeah, it's a bummer.
I caught the Empire State. Have you heard of that one?
I have not. That must be like a Brooklyn thing.
Yeah, it's underground.
That's awesome.
Rebecca, who's the most notable person you met traversing the streets of New York?
Oh, cool question.
Oh man, I saw Carly Kloss on the subway. Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan,
that's a good one.
Yeah, right by NYU, so it felt very like 1990s Meg Ryan.
Oh, you were like heading into like Fox Bookstore, and she was at the around the corner bookstore. Yeah, no,
I like that movie.
I like that movie too.
In those scenarios, do you just like leave them be? Do you try to make eye contact? Do you hug? What do you do?
So I'm pretty principled when it comes to like celebrities. I cannot bother them. Unless it's Jon Stewart, which I've like spoken to once in The Daily Show. I would not ask them for photos, but Jon Stewart is like my one person that would be like,
what happened when you talked to Jon Stewart? Or you probably just call him John?
Yeah, John and I catch up every once in a while. I was just in the audience, so I just got to ask him a question, and everyone had been like throwing out really intense political questions, and I was like, John, what do you do on your time off when you're not watching like Bill O'Reilly?
And like specifically, give me the location that you like to go to.
Where do you do this thing that you like to do?
And he's like, well, I'm 50, so sometimes I like to bend down and then like get back up. Yeah, but that was my favorite encounter.
That's awesome.
Okay, my question is, I know Orlando is, the mecca of all America, but what do you think you're going to miss about Brooklyn the most?
Is it the culture?
The warehouse parties?
The food? Oh, warehouse parties are so cool. So many raves.
The pizza, Sbarro.
Oh, yeah. You've been to Sbarro?
You know what? I miss walking a lot. So before, my walk to the subway and to work would be like 40 minutes to and from every day of walking, like minimum. And now it's like 3 minutes to my car and like a 30-minute drive.
Wow, you park pretty far away,
though.
I
want to challenge you, Rebecca. When I was in Orlando for, I think it was our live event, I'm like, hey, it's sunny here. I live in Portland where it's rainy a lot. I'll walk. I can walk to this. There's a Starbucks like a mile and a half from my hotel. yeah, don't.
You were the one person in that 5 mile radius that was outside.
It
of
was
their
like
car
August.
No, I was the only person.
It was
my
August
gosh.
in Florida, and she texted me about halfway
No.
through her walk going, I'm like, I was going to pick her up, and she's like, I'm halfway to
She
the
collapsed.
Starbucks.
Ill-advised.
Yeah.
Rebecca, real quick, favorite movie, favorite band, favorite book.
And don't try to be cool. Be real honest because
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
always
I-
tell.
I-
Meg
if they
Ryan.
all involve Meg
Okay.
Ryan somehow, I'll be impressed.
Favorite Meg Ryan movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I love On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. That's like an old school one,
What a
but
perfect
City of
answer.
Angels.
City of Angels, Kate and Leopold,
Face Off.
Mean Girls. No,
Yeah.
Mean Girls is great.
yeah, that's a good one.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? I don't have a favorite book.
Bible.
No, it's not.
Left Behind, all of them.
And what was
Wait,
the third one?
hold on. You announced at staff meeting you don't watch TV, you don't watch movies, you read all the time, and you're saying you don't have a favorite book?
Yeah, this is true.
What's like a book
I
that just...
feel like I can't commit. You know what I mean?
I have a
Like, 'cause
question. So
there's
do you have
always-
a
In
book-
the last year, what's a book you've enjoyed?
Good
That's
question.
less
Or what's on
confining.
your nightstand right now?
Or what's a book you come back to every once in a while because you just can't not be
Or
away
let's
from
all
it.
of us just keep asking variations of the question.
Name the
feel
title
like-
of a book
so-
you know.
What's a book?
Yeah, I don't know. All the books I'm reading right now are like super intense personal development stuff.
Favorite band?
Okay, favorite band. I really like
It can be solo or group, by the way.
Vince Staples. North.
North
That's
North.
her
If you
anthem.
say
That's
you
her
too,
anthem.
I'm going to be
Drake,
so
no.
The
upset.
soundtrack to You've Got Mail. Not a band, but heck of a collection of tunes.
I'm really enjoying Bon Iver's new album. I don't
Oh,
know.
of course you
Yeah.
are, millennial.
Because she saw him at his warehouse in Bushwick,
his warehouse
where
in
it was a
Bushwick.
secret show. It was so great.
Like I know.
Rebecca, I want to know what album you were listening to in high school on repeat, and it was
Yeah.
CD or whatever.
This is just going to continue to get like embarrassing because it was stars and explosions in the sky. This is who I am. I can't help it.
Yeah, you are just hipster and cool. You don't have any embarrassing band, do you? You don't just pop in the Cranberries CD every once in a while.
dude, yeah.
Like Eddie deeply loves DC Talk, and he loves like Dave Matthews Band. That's
Yeah.
his embarrassing
Yeah, it's
band,
not-
but he didn't know they're
I
embarrassing.
don't think it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just informed when he started doing this show that they were embarrassing choices.
Like I thought it was pretty cool.
No, I really like hip hop too. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Same.
Yeah, cool.
That's why she's on the team. I like that about her. Well, it's nice to get to know you. I think the audience now, feels like they know you fully and they're comfortable with you. So that's good.
Yeah.
Wait, did we hear what your role, like your official title is at Relevant?
I'm a managing editor.
She's the managing editor.
The managing editor.
So I'm running all of digital and contributing to the magazine.
Yep.
Awesome.
All
Welcome.
the content we're doing goes across her desk. It's a big, very important job.
Yeah.
We are excited to have her on the team. It's really going to be awesome. Okay, moving so along, it's time for our weekly look back at culture and entertainment. It's time for...
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it, this week Vince Staples defended the Christian mom who ranted against one of his songs in that viral video that was all over Facebook and stuff. Did you not see this? Mm-mm. Okay, so last week, a woman who described herself as a Christian mother, she starts this video by saying, like, the sort of stuff she listens to is like Toby Mac and like that's her universe.
I don't want to talk about Toby Mac.
She uploaded a video online. She then went on an 11-minute rant against the Vince Staples song, North North. The video went viral and was even trending on Facebook. So she's in tears throughout the video and said that her young children heard the song on the radio. And then she read the lyrics out loud, explaining how enraged they made her. So even though the radio version of the song was censored and didn't contain profanity, it had numerous references to violence and gang culture. The hip-hop star responded to this. He's been open about his past, and some of his music is even cautionary. So he has said previously, he said, I don't want anybody to do what I did. I stopped going to school when I was 15. I was broke till I was 20. You don't want to do that. Why would you?
Unless you want to become a famous
You don't want to see
musician.
people get shot and die. You don't
That's
think
true.
about it when you're younger, but it's colors all the way down. So your only enemy is the kid you've never seen before because he went to the middle school around the corner from his house. So you finally meet him when you're 16. You think, this is what I've been looking for my whole life. Then it's real. Nobody doing nothing in Long Beach but gangbang. So the woman's video about the song went viral, and it's been widely criticized and mocked for how emotional she was. It was even remixed into its own song. But Vince Staples didn't find it funny. He spoke out defending the woman. Here's what he said. The woman in that video is clearly confused on the context of the song, which causes her to be frightened. She has a right to her opinion. No person needs to be attacked for their opinion on what they see to be appropriate for their children. They have a right to it. This misunderstanding of our community leads to miscommunication, which we should convert into a progressive dialogue. And I thought that was a helpful kind of response.
It is, because I mean, obviously, like, the mother in that situation is concerned that her young children are being exposed to music that she finds inappropriate, but she didn't have the full context. Like a lot of his music is cautionary, as he's explained. It doesn't necessarily glamorize violence in that lifestyle, but it does certainly address it in sometimes unsettling ways. But he was at the time, like, the only one on the internet that said, "Hey guys, maybe this isn't funny here."
Well, it's one of those things, like, she lives in this bubble, and then all of a sudden she's like aware. She becomes aware of this thing that she just can't believe exists, and she's just like beside herself.
But to turn on a camera and just cry on camera seems like there's just some other real deep other things happening that maybe also have come to the surface, and this is just a kind of a
but it also shows it also shows like the danger of making judgments. And it's not like I'm endorsing Vince Staples' album. People can listen to it if they want to engage with it or not, but it's like when someone would, like, when Kendrick was having his moment, I guess, last year during like award season, and you would see people who didn't really understand the full context of the album and maybe would listen to a song in isolation, not realizing that there's a narrative element here, and that narrative has, especially in Kendrick's case, is striving towards some redemptive note, but it's real and it's honest and explaining real experiences. Vince Staples didn't make up the stuff he's writing about.
Kendrick, his breakout hit on his last album, Swimming Pools, or it's like, I dive into a swimming pool of liquor, sort of thing. If you just listen to that and didn't really listen to it, you would think he's glamorizing, drinking and partying and things like that. And really what he's doing is it's a very morbid, cautionary tale about how alcoholism runs in his family and his uncles and everything like that. And how, like, he's like trying to like change the course of alcoholism in his family. But if you just listen to the music or whatever and don't understand the context, likewise with Vince Staples, if he's given a cautionary tale about the gangbang lifestyle and he's talking about it in explicit terms, and you don't understand what his purpose in the song is, I can understand why you'd be mortified by it. But there's profane music out there. We're not endorsing it, but some of these guys, especially in hip hop right now, are actually engaging social change and even spiritual themes and stuff like that in explicit ways, but they're trying to challenge and elevate and change the conversation through their music right now. It's really an interesting moment in hip hop, what's going on. And this crying mom video kind of brought Vince Staples to the forefront or spotlight. So in case you missed it, this is nuts. This week, the Secretary of Energy was asked by Chelsea Handler on her Netflix talk show about Stranger Things. And he admitted that the government, quote, works in parallel universes. So the United States Secretary of Energy, his name is Ernest Moniz, and he was a guest on her show. She jokingly asked him about the Stranger Things Upside Down and the Department of Energy's investigations into it. And he casually admitted, quote, actually, we do work in parallel universes. And then he caught himself and kind of laughed nervously. Here's the clip.
I have a curious question for you. I don't know if you ever saw Stranger Things. Have you guys paid attention to this phenomenon?
Woo!
So on the show,
cultural reference.
They have a Department of Energy, and they spend a lot of time investigating a parallel universe. What can you tell us about that?
I can tell you, first of all, that I've never seen it. But
plausible deniability.
Boom. Secondly, I believe this fictional DOE laboratory was operating in the 1980s. You can draw whatever inference you wish from that. Third, I will note that actually we do work in parallel universes.
Well,
do you really?
Is that
yes.
It's like, wait, what? and then they don't explain anything.
All right, so this took a little bit of a turn, but do tell.
This is what you call a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly.
So he goes on to explain that though they do work in experimental physics and science, they aren't a sinister organization. However, a reporter from the Washington Free Beacon served the Department of Energy with a Freedom of Information Act request to figure out just how accurate the show was and if officials were concerned about it. The request resulted in a heavily redacted 163-page packet of memos and emails related to the show. When the reporter tweeted a picture of the massive stack of documents saying it was more than I expected, the Department of Energy tweeted him back saying, "No matter what you write, it won't bring Barb back. Hashtag justice for Barb." The Department of Energy said that. That's amazing. Wow.
Is it concerning to anyone else that they're only half joking this whole time? Well, like, you know, like he's saying, well, we do work in parallel universes. Ha ha ha. You know, like this, like super nervous, like unsettling laugh. And then when the Department of Energy sends over on a Freedom of Information Act request, 163 pages of emails related to the show Stranger Things, a lot of which is redacted with big black boxes, right? So literally those are boxes that were hiding something here. Right. Then they just play it off as a joke. It's like hashtag justice for Barb. What if we really are going to bring monsters forth into the universe?
Yeah. But the other thing is did you hear about the Clinton campaign this week, like in the WikiLeaks emails?
Wait, put a pin in that because that might come up in slices.
Why don't you put a pin in that?
Hey, in case you missed it, big news. Big news out of Hollywood.
If you do not get to my slice,
there is a new Nicolas Cage movie coming out, and this one is his most bonkers yet. Okay, so typically we don't play movie trailers, but this one warrants an audio-only clip, okay? The movie is based on the true story of a Christian from Colorado deemed the Rocky Mountain Rambo by the media, okay? So this guy, he traveled to Pakistan in the early 2000s with a sword to hunt down Osama bin Laden. In the movie, Russell Brand plays God. Here is a clip of the movie. It's called Army of One.
This is...
Wow, what's up, man?
Hello, Gary.
God?
I've got a favor to ask you, Gary.
A favor?
I need you to go over to Pakistan and capture bin Laden for me.
Capture bin Laden?
We're talking about destiny, Gary.
Yes!
You and Osama bin Laden. That's crazy.
No, I have a lot to do. I'm planning and training.
Hey, man, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm pretty sure you can't sail to Pakistan.
I'm sailing!
Oh, boy.
Is this Pakistan?
No, senor.
Reason for visit?
Taking care of business.
TCB.
So how do you like it here in Pakistan?
Pakistan is very, very beautiful.
I love America, so we're even.
I love America, too.
What's this? An American's at loose in the slums of Islamabad. He's searching for Osama bin Laden. He's obsessed.
Hello. You afraid of anything? Does anything scare you?
It goes on from there. Okay, the real life guy, his name is Gary Faulkner. He became a controversial celebrity following all this, even appearing on like David Letterman and The View and stuff. The movie's called Army of One. It comes out November 4th, and it stars Nicolas Cage.
So it's supposed to be a comedy, though?
I have no idea. That's the thing. Watching the clip, I assume this is supposed to be humorous. I just find it a little disturbing. And the weird voice that Nicolas Cage is doing, this is the only time he's done a weird voice in his career. Trust me, Cameron and I recently watched 24 hours of his films. He does, except for Con Air. For Con Air, he does a Southern accent.
Con Air, he goes in and out of a Southern accent. I mean, that's the thing. It's really strong early, then he forgot he was supposed to be Southern, and then it comes back later.
He decided on day 15 of 30 of shooting, you know what, let's do Southern accent.
You know what this character needs?
Yeah.
He needs a backstory.
Yeah.
And then day 35, he decided, nah.
You know who I feel really bad for, besides the whole viewing public? Russell Brand.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like Russell Brand. Like, what are you doing? I thought he still had some gas left in the tank, but apparently he's playing God in a Nick Cage movie. So
that's pretty bad.
Good luck, dude.
Hey, in case you missed it this week, Lecrae continued his racial injustice activism by performing a powerful spoken word song at the BET Awards.
Yeah.
It became one of the most trending topics on Facebook last week. It's a minute-long freestyle. He addressed not only racial injustice, but America's troubled history and his own faith. With lines like, they telling us make America great again. I'm like, hold up, when was America great again? Here's a clip.
They telling us, make America great again. I'm like, hold up, when was America great again? Was it when they took us from our native land? Or maybe it was when they took the natives' land. Let me be quiet. Nah, because being silent is pitiful. It's something I never do. After Philando, man, I'm wondering, where was you? They ask for your opinion, all you thinking is revenue. Never do. I pray to God he make you a better you. Now I know, some of us, we don't know who we are. We too content with the gold and the cars. We got low self-esteem, chasing dreams with a goal in our heart. But society done drove us apart. Look at us from selling dope to our own kind, to a dope rhyme. Radio done played it more times, paying more dimes to some industry exec getting checks from a private prison with the rap money he invests. Now, I know you like it. Is this rap, is this gospel? Look, all you need to know is I was blind, now I'm not though. Real recognize real. If they don't love me like Pac, they gonna respect how I'm moving and that I'm never gonna stop. Because we was taken from Africa, sold and treated like animals, culturally denigrated and separated from families. But somehow we made it this far and stood firm with nappy heads and perms, led for 2 terms.
Come on now. Come on now.
That's awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
So we've covered Lecrae. Obviously, he's sticking his neck out and stuff. He's been on our cover. I had never met him. And so last week I'm in Atlanta for a conference. I'm there with Propaganda, one of our good friends. And Prop and Lecrae are like real close. And so we were hanging out, and then like Friday I was at this other meeting, and Prop texted me. He's like, hey, I'm with Lecrae. You want to go to dinner? And so I was like, yeah. So I went and met up with these guys, and we stayed out like all night talking. I'm telling you what Lecrae's doing right now, like how it's affecting his career, like what he's doing as far as like speaking out against injustice and like sticking his neck out. I'm telling you, it is affecting him. There is a price he's paying right now. And it was just powerful. It was an incredible night we had and just a vulnerable conversation. But man, pray for Lecrae. I mean, Prop is doing the same thing, but Prop is kind of known as a social activist. His followers want that from him, and he's lauded for that. And Prop is leading the way. And I would say Prop is heavily influenced even Lecrae's journey in this area. But like, so Prop is like out there. He's not catching the flack. Lecrae's fan base is middle America. Lecrae's fan base is the mom who's crying saying, I like, Toby Mac and, Third Day, and then she'll like Lecrae too. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of his fans. And so for him to be saying some of the stuff he's saying, they're turning on him.
Yeah, I saw people get weird when he switched over to a mainstream label,
Columbia.
They're not even...
Well, he's still on Reach. I mean, he still runs Reach Records, but Reach is now distributed through Columbia's network, so they have the power of a major label.
But people are freaked out because it's like, I see he's not just in our little box anymore.
No, he's not.
He's actually...
And I'm telling you, this guy is complex and deep and...
tall.
Incredibly tall.
Very tall man.
So I'm walking around Buckhead, Atlanta with Lecrae, who's legit 6'5" and like built like an Adonis, like a football player. He looks like a pro athlete. Big dude. And Prop, who's one of the coolest dudes you walk around with. These guys long dreads and everything. And then
cool.
Me, like, hi everybody. Like I felt very
like
uncool. I felt like Nick Cage. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I'm like, just getting to know Lecrae a little more. I am so in this dude's corner. He is in it for the right reason, and he's paying a price right now to stand up for what he believes is right. And good for him. Good for him.
It's having an impact too, because I mean, you look at a major television award show, and the main thing that people are talking about the day after was 1 minute on stage from Lecrae. Yeah. Like that's saying something. That's an impact.
I liked just the format that he used to. There was just no music. There was very little metaphor. He just walked on stage and said it, and it was almost like it was so raw that it just added a whole different level of power to it. It was, and he was like
commanded people's attention.
It was so talented. Yeah. How can you be so interesting by just talking? I can't imagine getting up there and compelling people like that. I know that's like a very set point.
You were a pastor. You could get up there and do announcements and take offering.
I can, well, yes. If BET needed me to do offering or set up communion, I would do a heck of a job. But they wanted me to talk about social
I want to do communion today with no background music.
Yeah, they wanted me to make communion great again. My question is, when was communion great?
Yeah. Where's the gluten-free stations? Back and far right. Grape juice or wine, it's your choice. I'm a rapper. Wow, I really.
Eddie, I'm as offended as that Christian mom right now. I'm about to start crying. That's how rich I am.
Go make a video, Jesse.
I would like to say to Lecrae, if you are listening, I'm very sorry about what I just did. That was very rude.
He actually might be. He was asking me about the show, and he's like, I'm just getting into podcasting, and he's like going to download it, and all of a sudden Prop subscribes. So he was like talking it up, and he's like, man, you need to listen to the show for real. And I was like, actually, we talked about your new song with Leon Bridges this week on the show and whatever. So, hey,
Propaganda, if you ever need communion set up at one of your rock and roll concerts, let me know. My name's Eddie Koffoltz.
Oh, man. In case you missed it, I wasn't going to do this one, but I think we got to end on this note. Tim Tebow raised another person from the dead.
No, we don't need to end on this note.
So, former quarterback and current minor league baseball player Tim Tebow recently found himself in the center of a dramatic situation following a game in Arizona. So he was talking with the media and signing autographs, and then a fan fell down, apparently having a violent seizure. Tebow went over and laid his hands on the fan and began praying. So ABC 15 News reporter Carrie Von Horn said on Twitter, Tebow signing autographs, fan has what looks like seizure, not moving. Tebow puts hands on him and says a prayer, man breathes. Wow, I just witnessed a miracle. Another person on the scene who took video of the incident said on Twitter, Tebow prayed with my friend after seizure and stayed 20 minutes until the paramedics arrived. So that's 2 confirmed miracles toward his sainthood.
He's on his way, Father Timmy. And also, real quick, DC Talk reunited at the Dove Awards. How do we feel about this? Let me tell you, I've never gotten a tip on anything in my life, like a hot tip.
Yeah. Like someone, like you got an anonymous call on your phone, and there was like a disguised voice on the other end, like
it was Eddie
Koffoltz.
I got a DM.
Hold on, has the Dove Awards haven't aired yet, but they were taped this past
Dove
week.
Awards have their parts of it have streamed. You can catch it on your antenna station for TBN.
Is it TBN?
Yeah.
TBN's airing it? Okay.
Yeah, TBN's airing it on Sunday.
Do you have to have your own special satellite for that? Is it a dish that just gets gets TBN?
You will need to get an antenna to get TBN. And they appeared to do a very emotional song. Toby wrote a song about the passing of his father, and the guys came out. Kevin and Michael came out and did the song with him. I would have liked to have seen DC Talk, but it was pretty good.
Did you tune in live to see this, Eddie?
I was watching all of the streaming that was possible. It wasn't really possible, but DC Talk Official had some live streaming. But yeah, I was watching that last night in the garage as I was working. It was pretty exciting to watch. And I will say, I got a tip beforehand that this was happening. I saw a picture of the rehearsal. I texted. I don't want to drop.
This is your basically, I went to a warehouse show in Bushwick sort of thing.
Eddie's warehouse show in Bushwick is streaming TBN in his own garage.
I'm going to say I texted someone in the band. I don't want to.
You only know one person in the band.
Anyhow, pretty exciting news. So in case you missed it, the band's back together.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Eddie, I want to know what kind of, I've got a strong visual, but what kind of work are you doing in your garage?
Yeah, what are you tinkering with down there?
I was installing a paddleboard rack on the top of our Honda Fit.
Do you have a paddleboard?
Bree does, and so I was installing a rack for it. Took 4 hours.
I really wish your response would have been, well, we don't have a paddleboard, but I think one of the barriers is not having a rack on our Honda Fit.
You got to start somewhere.
Just in case.
And that'll do it for
In Case You Missed It.
Hey, stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
Separated like
You're listening to Scott. The song is Wolf. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Ten Faye with the song Turn. All right, it's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, so as Eddie alluded to, and in case you missed it, I almost blew my slice for me. Thanks a lot, Eddie.
Really? I'm so sorry.
I almost did too. We're just really informed.
So a lot of you guys may have saw there was a big document dump by the rogue organization WikiLeaks.
Love them.
They basically they got a bunch of. That's an interesting take. I want to hear why you love them in a minute, but they basically grabbed took tens of thousands of emails from people affiliated with Hillary Clinton's campaign and leaked them on the internet. It has all kinds of information. I'm sure you can see everywhere in the mainstream media what the implications for Clinton's campaign. But there's a story they're not telling you, or they're not telling you enough. Within the documents were several emails between a former NASA astronaut named Edgar Mitchell This guy's actually walked on the moon. He's part of one of the early Apollo missions with Hillary Clinton's own campaign chairman, John Podesta. And the interesting about John Podesta is he only recently, in the last 2 years, started working with the Clinton campaign. Before that, he worked as a high level advisor in the Obama administration. So this is a guy who's been in Washington for a long time.
Oh, believe me.
He's part of the elite.
He's part of the establishment.
Yeah, the establishment.
He's on the inside. He's on the inside. So Mitchell, this former astronaut, like I said, this dude isn't just any astronaut. He's one of the few people ever to set foot on the moon. So this is in these private emails. He asked to meet. He emailed Podesta and asked to meet with Washington officials, quote, ASAP, to discuss government disclosure of extraterrestrial life forms and possibly using alien technology. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If this wasn't already a weird story, he also said that he wanted the meeting to bring us up to date on the Vatican's awareness of extraterrestrial intelligence. But I will say this: he's been an advocate for this for years and years and years. But it seemed weird that he wanted to get the Vatican involved, right? That seems like just like an out of the blue thing to ask.
I saw the Da Vinci Code.
Right. The Vatican is involved. He didn't want to get him involved. He just acknowledged what is real.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up, because recently, this is earlier this year, this spring, had one of his this is in May. The Pope said in one of his messages, just sort of pontificating as the pontiff does.
Oh, clever!
I get that.
Did you write that beforehand, or was that just off the cuff? Because that was
top of the dome, man.
Very clever joke, Jesse.
Thank you. So this is a Pope, okay? This is a Pope. If tomorrow, for example, an expedition of Martians arrives, green men with long noses and big ears like children draw, and some of them come to us, and if one of them asks to be baptized, what would happen? He said, "Who are we to close those doors?" Right. So here's the Pope.
Yeah.
Right. Just speculating about the spiritual implications of aliens arriving on Earth. That seems a little weird, and the timing seems a little weird, considering that these emails went out to someone within the Obama administration just months prior.
Interesting.
The truth is out there.
So shortly after these emails went to Podesta. Remember, this is when he was still with the Obama administration before he took over for the Clinton campaign. Podesta resigned from the White House. He left the Obama administration and said, I'm going to go work for the Clinton campaign. So it's unclear if these meetings ever happened. However, this is the final weirdest note of this is all. Remember, this is a guy who worked in the White House and is not some...
But it all makes sense now with what you're about to share, Jesse. Everything makes sense.
Yeah, because at this point, you're like, is this just some former astronaut?
It's kind of crazy old man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, what is this even based in? Is he just hear something from the Pope and figured the Vatican knows something?
Yeah.
So after he left the Obama administration and he took over he currently runs the Clinton campaign. So this isn't a guy who's been like outcast in Washington.
Right.
He took to Twitter to said that his biggest failure, that's his exact quote, his biggest failure, he's worked in the White House. And this is the thing that he says is his biggest failure, was once again not securing the disclosure of the UFO files.
Yep. And Hillary says she wants them released. I'm telling you, there is something in a vault somewhere that we need to know about.
Seriously.
And the Vatican and the Vatican's involved too.
Oh, they're involved. Wow.
Jesse, do you know about the one other person that was very involved in this and emailing Podesta that he wanted to get in conversations with the upper ups? I was
going to bring that up because the only thing is I feel like that discredits the whole campaign a little, because the former lead singer of Blink-182 is also involved.
That makes it all make sense. Joy, tell us, because this puts a bow on the whole thing.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 is like convinced that this is all true. He's like he and Podesta write back and forth about these things, and those emails were discovered in this WikiLeaks release. So hey, if Blink-182 says it's real and the Pope, I mean, what other demographic is left?
So Blink-182, they were popular for a while, and then all of a sudden they were silenced. And I'm wondering if it's because he found out something, he knew too much, and they got silenced.
They weren't silent; they were silenced. That's a great usage.
Yeah. So, because where did Blink-182 go? It's not like their pop punk riffs got tiresome or the taste of America changed. No, they were silenced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The reason the taste of America was changed is because Blink-182 stopped making music.
That's right.
The tail's wagging the dog. Wake up.
Wake up, sheeple.
I love that Jesse didn't want to bring up the Blink 182. And we should be specific. It is just Tom DeLonge. He didn't want to ruin the legitimacy.
Not to be, but it goes deeper than just Tom DeLonge. There's others.
Dan Aykroyd has like a whole web series of interviews about him talking about how he really does believe.
Yeah. The whole punk scene was a rebellion against the establishment. And the pop punk scene of the late 90s, early 2000s was a rebellion against the silence of the truth.
This is all well known.
About the outer space.
Yeah, you're preaching
and
to the choir.
And their little house of cards that they've been building over the years at the White House have been crumbling down thanks to WikiLeaks and this heroic late astronaut and his efforts.
In one of the articles, they did say, I think that astronaut was saying that he doesn't think that it's incongruent, or maybe it was the Pope, one or the other, incongruent with like our faith.
Of course not.
Yeah. The Pope's whole point there to say is if when he was saying like who's to close the door to like baptize an alien, he was just saying like in that case like if something was discovered, which is a weird thing for him to like speculate about, but he was basically laying the groundwork for like, hey, listen, if you ever found out anything, it shouldn't be something that would affect your faith, because who are we to say what the limits of creation are? Is basically his.
If you listen
to
Blink 182's discography, it's all a cautionary tale, much like Vince Staples and Kendrick Lamar are doing in hip hop. It's a cautionary tale about being sheeple and having your eyes closed to what's really going on out there in the galaxy.
And I'm just gonna be real honest right now. Yeah. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. If I'm serving communion at a propaganda show and an alien comes up, I am giving it.
He's probably gluten free. You got a spot for that.
No problem. Back left, back right. We got 2 gluten-free stations. Right. No problem. I will serve them. I will serve them GF communion.
Cameron, I'm glad you brought it up because I have actually filmed a pretty emotional YouTube video that's not getting very many. Like it's been flagged a couple times because I say some pretty.
You have to keep re-uploading.
I say some regrettable things, but it's 11 minutes. And I'm weeping. I'm enraged. I lay out a lot of theories. So if YouTube unblocks that thing, let's get it trending and really blow the roof off this.
Did you ask propaganda about what he knows?
No, I didn't. It didn't come up.
He's in it now.
Yeah.
Him, Tom DeLonge, aliens.
No one's safe. No one's safe.
No one's safe.
All right, what do you have, Joy?
All right. Well, I have an article today that I want to first start out. We're obviously in the middle of political debates. So have any of you recently gotten in a heated debate or argument with someone over politics?
Hey.
No.
Yes.
I try my best to avoid
I didn't get in a debate, but I got a little feisty this week on Twitter. Just posted a couple things. No big deal. And my favorite thing was someone replied, why don't you have, it was something to the effect of like, have more compassion towards Trump. Saul became Paul. And I was like, oh boy, wow. I just remembered I can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I wouldn't vote for Saul, but whatever.
And I mean, obviously, like there was the town hall debate and that last question where the guy asked, what do you respect about the other opponent?
Yeah, say one nice thing about
Yeah, and that really did shift the tone because the first question was something along the lines of like, do you think you're being a good example for our children or something, the children that are viewing? But that final question was what actually, I think, set that tone. So there's some people that, like, I'm pretty passionate about, like, how can we have these conversations, not ignore it, not stay away from it, but do have this, public discourse and be civil about it. But then there's other people that are like, no, we need to actually like get fired up. And so I was interested in this article. It's not even about the debates. It's about climate change. But there's this woman who's really becoming this prominent voice. Her name's Dr. Catherine Hayhoe.
Hey-ho! Work.
Hip hop parade.
Exactly.
Naughty by nature.
Not because I hate you.
But she's emerging as one of the nation's most effective communicators on the threat of climate change and the need for action. She actually just recently appeared at the White House with President Obama and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Now that guy's in the alien
and
thing.
Chris Thile and Blink 182.
And propaganda.
Really weird. And an actual alien.
Actual alien.
That's their sound.
I just want to say this is the first time I've gone this long without you guys interrupting me and going off on a tangent. So this is a day to remember.
It's not a tangent, it's truth. Continue on.
But have you guys heard of this? They're doing South by South lawn ideas. So she was there with Obama and DiCaprio, and she has become, in prominence of this topic because she is just, they say, so darned nice. And then for our Canadian listeners, I thought they'd appreciate this. They said it'd be easy to chalk this up to her Canadian background. She does say that it helps her explain her commitment to finding consensus, and she has found out that she gets her science across more effectively if she can connect with people personally. In a nation seemingly so addicted to argument as a blood sport, she conciliates. And so on this topic, she's from Lubbock, Texas. And she even was she was working on her PhD on this topic, and she was married. And 6 months in to her marriage, finished her PhD, and found out that her husband didn't actually believe in climate change. So through the course, he was like, "Oh, I just thought you were doing research, but I didn't think you actually believed it." So they kind of started this dialogue where he just asked her all these questions, and then they actually ended up writing a book on this topic. But what's just interesting is that there's this other guy who's a climate scientist named Michael Mann, and he said, there's a time for debating the way that she thinks we should debate, but there's also a time for locking horns, as it has its place too. So having that combative nature. But she will not go on any news program where they want, two scientists to debate, because she's just it just creates this conversation where I don't think people ultimately change their opinion. So I appreciated it, but I was also curious if you think this, fighting debate actually changes anybody's opinions, or if we should push towards more civil discourse.
I feel what's interesting about that is I feel like that was the whole thing with going from a debate format to a town hall format, where it's this is just a big conversation with everyone. But it just feels a lot of times people, when I'm watching the debates, nothing that is really being said is changing my mind. It just is watching for the entertainment value of two people, try to needle each other. So, I guess it's encouraging that there are people out there in prominent roles that are taking somewhat of a different approach than just screaming at each other the ESPN First Take.
Well, I also think that just the current level of debate insanity has got to be sort of on the edge of the bell curve of what is typical. I think we're all just in awe because this rarely happens like this, right? I saw a clip on CNBC the other day of the last presidential debate, which I remember watching and thinking ooh, this is heated. And it was just two polite gentlemen having a lovely conversation. Yeah. I was oh, that's right. We're in the middle of just a particularly crazy thing. I think there's a higher level of civility. Do you? Or do you think?
Well, it's what I hope, but I do feel there obviously have been other, there's been seasons where people have been awful, and other cultures and things where it's almost like this. What in Parliament in Europe, did they used to just fight, physically fight, So maybe, I don't know if we are at the worst that we've ever been, but it is mind-blowing to me as a communicator that there is such a knowledge that literally people are just going to tune in, maybe for 5 minutes to the debate, and they're not going to watch the whole 90 minutes. So the communicators know, they're I would rather not answer the question at all and say what I want to say, because that will ultimately have more push or power than actually answering the question and trying to come to some, healthy point of debate or rhetoric.
Well, we'll be able to kind of cure what ails the country in our next in a couple of segments when we do our town hall debate 2, The Reckoning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is really, if you're undecided about anything, prepare to have your mind made.
We're going to chart a new course. We're going to model the positive way to engage civil discourse and debate.
I am going to be screaming. Let me just say that.
I'm not saying I can practice
literally
it.
Screaming.
I just have a hope for it.
I'm going to personally attack Jesse.
Yes.
His and things that I know are off limits for the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about his children.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Dana. No, I would never, sweet Dana.
I'm going to talk about allergies that Eddie never wanted mentioned on this show, and everyone's going to know. Personal medical records, Eddie, and it's going to be humiliating. I'm going to listen, Eddie. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell people what terrible things happen to your insides when you eat a banana pepper. Oh, you're in for it, friendo.
Oh, friendo. Hey, friendo.
All right. What do you have, Eddie?
Well, Hot Slice off Relevant caught my eye, and I wanted to talk about it because, well,
that's what we're here for.
I've lived it. So a study came out, and it was a co-branded study by the Leadership Network and the Vanderbloemen Search Group. They do a bunch of like searching for ministry jobs. Yeah. So they looked at the salary trends of over 1,200 churches with a regular attendance of 500 or more. So those are pretty big sized. Big churches.
Your typical suburban kind of mini mega church.
Yeah, but 500 kind of hits that point where they've got a good size.
They have
budget.
a youth ministry. They have, they might have
they probably have hired an executive pastor.
Yeah,
at
they
a
have
point.
some vans.
Oh, yeah.
That are branded.
Oh, yeah. They got an administrative assistant, Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie, send out my tweets.
Debbie's the best.
Yeah.
Debbie's been there a long time.
Debbie, you have any more of that Chick-fil-A sauce? All right. Get some for me and Tyler. Bring it in.
Cameron, I like Cameron's frame of reference. Like a church has arrived. Like a church has reached like a healthy growth point when they have at least 2 branded vans.
Yeah, that's right.
I got to tell you, I'm going to someday, I just know it, I'm going to go back into the church. But I know it's going to be a smaller like parish church. But even if it's 35 of us in the middle of nowhere, we are getting a van.
No, and 35, you can't support the upkeep of a van.
We keep up a van. I'll have you come to the church. Just buy us a van. We'll wrap the whole thing in Relevant, right? But I want a church van that the kids, draw stuff on the windows, and I have to yell at them at the end of the middle school retreat.
And then you're driving back from Night of Joy, and you got to flip the lights on to hand check.
Oh, yeah.
The dome lights come on. Dome light check. Dome light check.
The lights stay on. I'm going to have a plan.
The lights stay on.
I got a kid in the back who's a plant.
Yeah.
I'm paying that kid an airhead an hour to rat out. So send me a text up front. Yeah. I got it all figured out. Father Koffels is going to take care of it.
Debbie's kind of...
Molly has fallen asleep on Ryan's shoulders. Molly has fallen asleep on Ryan's shoulders.
I'm pulling over. I'm going to casually get gas. Everybody potty break.
Everybody out of here.
Yeah.
Molly,
can anyone else confirm that's ever was in youth group or has ever done anything involved in volunteering at a church? There is no worse smell on earth than a church van after like a weekend at some camping thing.
It is absolutely.
Or after laser tag. That's the worst.
Oh, it's just sweat and Cheetos and middle
hormones
school and
body spray. Yeah. But the thing is, Cameron, Eddie's very comfortable with van upkeep. He would just pull it in the garage and tinker away with the double boards
I would turn on Double Ward's live stream and work on that van for hours.
This van could hold at least 5 paddle boards on top of it. Yeah.
No, just gotta get
you know what? It doesn't really need it. I really need to get the transmission working right if I'm going to be hauling these kids around. The brake pads scare me a little. But I think we'll go ahead and install some paddleboard racks just in case we get a donation. I have no reason to believe anyone's donating 7 paddleboards to the church, but I don't want to be caught. I don't want to be caught unprepared here.
If we're going to bring 36 people into this church, we got to get some paddleboards.
Paddleboard ministry.
So they looked at the budgets of those staff, and it's a big study, and there's a lot of numbers, but it was boiled down nicely here by whatever Yahoo wrote this for Relevant, but it was Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse wrote this.
It found that 49%, on average, 49% of the church's total budget goes to salary and benefits for the staff. And with 98% of the church's total budget comes from the money that the congregation gives. So 98% of it is coming from...
Where would the other 2% come from?
Probably like land holdings or different like income from rental properties.
Oh, okay.
So, but generally, all the money comes in from tithe.
Right.
Half of that money pays the staff. Found that 54% of churches give bonuses to the senior pastor within 12 months, and only about half, around 52%, spend more than 10% of the budget on ministry outside of the congregation.
So only half spend a tithe's worth of their revenue doing missions and outreach.
So the way they say it at church is that they tithe on the tithe. So whatever comes in the door, 10% of that we're not even using for anything here.
That's the missions budget.
It's going outside. But if you think about it this way, if you stop and think of it outside of percentages, let's say a 3,000 person church has a $5 million budget.
Is that about right?
Yeah. So let's say that's $2.5 million are going to the staff. The staff is probably, I would say, around 40 people. 25 of them are full-time, maybe less, but it's pretty healthy staff. But I mean, it's still...
How many church vans in this scenario?
Yeah.
Oh man, endless church vans.
How many Chick-fil-A lunches do they write off?
They get church vans every week. So $2.5 million a year is going to the church salary, and
for a full-time staff of 25 with 25 part-time.
Yeah, right around, and then which is okay. Everybody's being paid. Now we can talk about what pastors are paid in a second.
Well, Eddie, there's one more number that maybe you can reference it there. I'm going on the top of my head here, but there was a very small number of churches that were comfortable disclosing details of staff salaries to people in the church that are giving donations.
Yeah, they won't say specific. A lot of times churches will say like, oh, we have total financial disclosure, and they do, but it's not like, Pastor Strang makes X number of dollars a year.
Or would say pastoral staff or something.
They say the staff budget, and they'll say, it's about 51%. But that's been the magic number in churches.
By your observation, is there a common kind of marketplace and ministry? Like if there's a company that was a $5 million company with a staff about that size, the CEO would be paid pretty well. And would it be comparable that a pastor would be making what the CEO would have made?
But real quick, that's the question though, right? I mean, like, should a church be run like a business? Like in turn, and I'm not saying it should or shouldn't, but I think that leads to a question of, is our model for how we run large churches like the model of how we'd run large businesses?
Well, no, because churches are tax-free. So what gets interesting here in all of this is that, like, let's say your pastor let's just say you're paying him or her $100,000 a year.
Okay.
Right? That's a really generous salary, but it's not unheard of for a pastor to make $100,000. A lot of senior pastors of big churches make much more than that, but let's say it's $100,000. They also get a ministry allowance and tax exemptions from that. So everything, every bit of their home, they get to write off. So basically, they end up paying very little in taxes because their entire life is written off by taxes or paid for.
So the CEO who makes $100,000, 35% tax rate, income taxes, all that, he's bringing home 60. Right. And you're saying that the pastor making $100,000 is going to bring home $95,000,
right? Because when you look at the salary, if the salary is $100,000, usually there's a parsonage allowance, there's benefits on top of that. Their salaries, their actual total, the package of what they're making is sometimes twice as much. That's how a staff income can burn through 51% because churches pay really well.
Do they really? Well, how come the perception is like if you're in the ministry, you're broke? Is it because you're the middle school pastor?
Because you're a middle school. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but aren't 3,000 person churches kind of a rarity compared to the average size of a church in the country? Like most churches are not running a $5 million budget.
But let's say you're a 500 member church. Your budget's maybe 1 million.
Yeah, and two vans.
Yeah, and you got a lot more vans than that at 500 because you got an old ladies van.
You got to get the tinkering budget in.
Yeah, you got to get the van that has the
paddleboard racks.
You have the low step in for the older people. You got a lot. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying there is a huge amount of money that goes to the church staff, and I personally, and this is me really, I have a hard time with it because when you're paid so well by a church, granted, the job is really hard.
Right.
But
well, isn't it like people in church ministry, like I was at Catalyst conference this past week, and it was like for a lot of church leaders, and somebody sitting next to me was like, what's crazy is to look at this room. There's 5,000, 4,000 leaders here, and statistically, within 5 years, 80% of the people in this room will not be in the church ministry.
Totally.
And it's because it's so hard. Burnout.
It's so hard, and because you are fully paid by this, you become your job isn't pure anymore. Like you can't get up there and preach about what's really on your heart. And I'm not saying get up there and talk about politics, but I'm saying
they need to be unleashed. Is what you're saying.
If you talk about something unpopular, all of that compensation is attached to that.
Unshackled. That's what it is.
Right? Because if a quarter of your church leaves, you are that That is a huge amount of staff loss. And so you're either taking a cut yourself or you're firing all of the administrative help or the middle school.
Sorry, Debbie.
Debbie, sorry. Nobody's going to. It becomes, the idea of.
Sorry, Debbie. I got unshackled and offended half the church. We got to let you go.
But the idea of tent making as a way to support yourself as you lead a church seems way more in line with actually leading a bold, progressive church than having a church that is paying half of the money that it brings in. Plus, you think about...
Real quick, Eddie, just for people that maybe not get that reference, tent making is a reference to Paul doing something professionally aside from just ministry.
That's right. That's right. Sorry, I'm sometimes too holy, and I forget that.
Yeah, I got you. No, but did you? Sorry, I'll let you.
Well,
finish
I also just feel like the resources of a church can be used so many different ways to influence and help and be just kind of the center point of goodness, right? Like they can do so much good stuff with that tithe money.
Right.
The fact that half of it is basically paying the staff, that essentially the staff's job is to keep Sunday and programming happening. It just seems...
that's ministry, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I struggle because I feel like there's such a difference between... I mean, it makes me sick when I see some mega churches and mega pastors with their, Gucci outfits and things of that nature. So if it's an excess, I totally get it. But I also feel as though there's so much burnout because you've got, a pastor, trying to support a family of, 3 kids or whatever. And it's just like to add that financial burden on them, because I don't think all of them are like, oh yeah, and I get to write this off. Like senior pastors, maybe that's a different thing. But I do just feel as though there are a lot of churches that are really struggling because people actually, maybe half of the donation or the tither is giving away because people aren't tithing that much, I don't know. I don't know the stats, but I just feel like it's more of an issue with big mega churches.
Yeah, relatively small percentage of people actually.
What is it? What is it? I mean, from your ministry experience, you don't remember?
I don't remember.
I've always been curious because I do the math. I'm sitting there going like, wow, counting all the heads, 10% of what we all make. Man, it's crazy money in this room. And then I say that to a pastor, and they're like, seriously, it's like 1% of people give like 2% of their income. That's it.
Yeah, there was something. All I know is that one time we did the actual math of what would happen if everybody gave 10%, and it was like 35 times the current giving. So it's really crazy how I guess not underfunded, but
under-resourced.
People don't typically
follow the biblical model of 10% tithes.
Generally, they don't.
And if you don't, and you're listening to this right now,
shame. No, but I think the other interesting point in this is like, I don't think there's any of us are obviously suggesting that like if you're in ministry, you take like some sort of like vow of poverty or anything, and that a worker is due his wages, and people need to be compensated for their time and be able to support themselves. But when we initially like posted this story and I shared it on social media, I saw so much feedback of like, well, why are you even reporting this? This is divisive. This is just going to cause issues. I think it highlights another issue is that there needs to be some level of transparency because we are all involved in the church. And just because we're talking about it doesn't mean we're automatically taking like some sort of, critical position, but it is something that I feel like it can't be too delicate to talk about. I mean, we're all part of the church here, and people are going to make judgments, whether, people disagree or not. That's one thing, but we can't be off limits because it's delicate. And that's like a lot of times when you get talking about like what people make in ministry or church salaries or what should or shouldn't, what's too flashy or what, people get defensive, where I feel like the posture should be more open, because ultimately it's that closedness and that lack of transparency that I feel like turns people off from the church, especially when it comes to sensitive, delicate stuff like money.
That's one of the reasons why I'm such an advocate for the organization Charity Water, because Scott Harrison took on head on the fact that our generation, millennials, are skeptical about giving, and they're skeptical about even charity organizations. Like, where does the money really go? What impact is it really having? And it seemed like a lot of smoke and mirrors. So he started his organization to say, we're going to put it all out there. You're going to know where every dime goes, and 100% are going to do this, and we're going to report on it, and accountability and transparency is going to be our calling card. And it's thriving, and it's been difficult. It's not the easy road to go, and he's kind of man, if I had to do it all over again, I mean, that was a big decision, a commitment we made. But I mean, that's why people are connecting with what they're doing. It's like there's such a desire for just transparency. And you know what? If it costs money to pay Debbie to do support services for the staff, great.
Man, Debbie.
Pay Debbie. But like a workman is worthy of his hire. But we don't have an issue with people making an income from ministry. Just let us know what the purpose is and that the resources are going where you say they are.
I will say this. When I was on staff at a place, I was asked to install some paddleboard racks. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't hire anybody for it. I was going about 85 on the interstate, and I looked up, and the paddleboards are long gone. I don't know where they were. I don't know what kind of accidents they caused, but I had over a dozen 15-foot long paddleboards with oars that when I hit a certain speed, I don't know what it was. They flew off, and I can't be certain no one was maimed by them. I'll say this. What's the most concerning thing is I was driving through a pack of motorcycles when I'm pretty sure they flew off. And let me say this, they had really sharp fins on them. So I got out of there, obviously.
It was like a Sharknado.
Going dark.
I couldn't look back. But
clearly
that to say is, Eddie, sometimes you hire people if you don't know how to install. Or if they're, because like I said, I was pushing a pretty dangerous speed, and I think about it a lot, actually. I think I heard someone yell, but I don't like to revisit, but since you bring it up.
I do some ministry.
It was a scream. It was really
bad.
He yelled, "The paddleboards are coming off the van," and it was at least it was.
The thing is, when they come off
of a van, 25 motorcycles all over the place. So there's no way.
They fly like a helicopter. Is the thing when they fly off a van, they fly like a helicopter. You think it's going to be straight.
What's weird is even though the van is pretty high off the ground, they were flying head level. So I don't even.
Yeah, it's helicopter head level. All of a sudden, it's.
I obviously
it was a pretty gruesome.
Obviously,
scene.
I couldn't look back, and
there's a whole stretch of 75 that still just gets diverted because they could never quite figure out.
Yeah, I mean,
how to clean it up.
At that point, what am I going to do to help? I'm the one who caused this problem, but I'm just going to. The last thing they need is a van pulled over. Who knows what else I haven't fixed? They're just going to, So I just got out of there. But you're right, Eddie. Pay a guy if you got the budget. Pay him.
Pay a guy.
Close.
Had you been making $100,000, maybe that motorcycle gang in 75 heading north out of Valdosta would have still been with us today.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, the bungee cords I used seemed pretty dry rotted that I found in the back of the church shed, and it should have been a red flag.
And you only used
budget to get new ones.
Yeah. You only used one per board too, and that was a big mistake.
Yeah, I used one for the whole thing. I just spread it really thin. I mean, it was hanging by a thread. I knew once got up in speed that was going to happen.
There's no church budget for bungee cords because all the money was going to the staff. So
man, Debbie, go get us some bungee cords.
Debbie's been there 35 years and gets an annual raise every year. So she's 15% of the total budget herself.
Debbie knows, but also you can't replace Debbie because Debbie comes in at 3 p.m. with her little pudding cup.
Yeah,
she knows exactly what you need.
But she's the only person who knows everything about everything for the church.
Debbie, where's the and she just hands you the piece of paper. She knows it.
Where's the keys for? They heard it.
Yep.
Where's those old dry rotted bungee cords?
Debbie, we're going to have to set up a memorial for 15 motorcyclists ASAP. You got this? Get us flowers. It's going to be a heck of a to do.
I'm going to drive by where I think they flew off and throw the flowers out. It's the honorable thing to do here.
Man, Debbie.
Man. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Chris Thile joins us. You're listening to Bastille. The song is Blame. This album is full of podcast-ready songs. Lots of energy, good ones. Well, this week's feature interview is brought to you by a new sponsor, Uniqlo. Uniqlo offers the latest women's, men's, and kids' clothing and accessories. You can check out some of the clothing on uniqlo.com and talk about items you like. It's UNIQLO. Uniqlo.com. Uniqlo's approach to clothing is simple, with a not-so-simple purpose, to make your life better. This winter, you can stay warm with their line of Heat Tech clothing. You can choose Heat Tech for regular winter wear and Heat Tech Extra Warm for those really cold days.
I need all of that.
Undershirts, tights, socks, scarves, hats, fleeces, and even pants that fit seamlessly into your everyday life. Products fit slim and not bulky. The moisture-wicking fabric retains heat and also features anti-odor properties to keep you feeling fresh even when you sweat. Camellia Oil Moisturizer adds comfort for dry skin. This is amazing.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah. You can check it out now. Go to Uniqlo.com, UNIQLO.com, or find a Uniqlo store near you. That's Uniqlo.com. Lifewear, simple, made better. They opened a huge new Uniqlo here in Orlando, and I was in it a couple nights ago. It's one of those multi-story big stores. It's awesome.
That's amazing. That is cool. I kind of want to see it.
Good. It's like it's got that modern sensibility, kind of like Japanese design, kind of mixed with like IKEA and Target kind of style, but really good price. Good, high quality clothes. It's great for the whole family.
It's kind of like a lot of like basics, like American Apparel style, right? Just without the weird ads.
Kid stuff?
Yeah, they have kid stuff.
Yeah, we need. We're going to do a winter run soon for the kids.
I was going to say, this is the perfect time of year to like check out like a clothing company like that with like the weather changing. You're going to be buying new clothes anyway. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm excited about this.
I'm pretty much cold 97% of the time, so I'm going to get the whole line.
Chris Thile is a member of the critically acclaimed bands Punch Brothers and Nickel Creek, and starting this weekend is the new host of the iconic public radio show, A Prairie Home Companion. For more than 5 decades, the show has brought its mix of music, comedy, literature, and social commentary to more than 3 million listeners every week. We recently talked with Thile about how the show will change the kinds of artists that fans can expect to hear and the role that faith will continue to play on the show. Here's some of Jesse's conversation with Chris Thile.
Well, listen, man, I'm really excited to hear the new era of Prairie Home Companion that you guys are working on.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to deliver it to you.
Yeah, it's October 15th, right?
Coming right up.
Yeah, right around the corner. Do you feel pretty prepared?
I think, as prepared as one can be for such a thing. It's live radio, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can plan for, which is part of what I love about it. But as far as the song of the week, I'm finishing up a little writing chore, extracurricular writing chore. Sort of get the music up and running and have an eagle ear out for any songs that might be in the air.
Yeah.
We have a lot to work with right now. It's fall, man. It's harvest time for the arts as well. I feel. I think there's something about this time of year. It just makes you want to make something.
Yeah.
But man, the guests are in order. I can't wait to hear Jack and Lake Street Dive and our spoken word guest we just confirmed for the premiere. It was this very, very funny Irish woman named Maeve Higgins. I love how the Irish turn English into one of the Romance languages.
Yeah.
It's like I get to make music and then direct traffic on this these 2 hours of variety. It's fairly idyllic state of affairs for me.
It is a really cool and really unique gig, especially in today's media. But you mentioned Jack White, and I know you have a bunch of great artists. Nathaniel Ratcliffe and Night Sweats are coming up, which the thing that jumped out to me about those two bands is a lot of their fan base tends to be maybe a little bit younger. I think Prairie Home definitely has like a lot of young fans, but are there other bands that you would like to introduce to the current audiences and maybe to bring in some new ones?
Yeah, I mean, it's this works both ways. I mean, you're absolutely right that, I'd say Jack and Nathaniel, for instance, have audiences that may be largely unfamiliar with our little show.
Yeah.
And conversely, our existing audience. Now, Jack has reached a point in his career where you really have to be living under a rock not to know about Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that said, there's still some of our audience who will definitely be introducing Jack to. And certainly Nathaniel, I love the two-way street aspect about that this show has been growing up with Garrison. You know, Garrison was my age when he started the show, even a little younger.
Oh, wow.
My parents were in their early 20s when they started listening. So they grew up with Garrison. You know, they grew up, they introduced it to me, and I've continued to listen, but not everyone my age has, and certainly not everyone my parents' age got into it, although, you know, a lot of them did. And it's just whether it stuck with you. I, having set off onto a musical path, an acoustic one at that, the show remained relevant to my life, maybe in a way that it didn't for some people my age.
Yeah.
And now, while you know, I don't think Garrison was pointedly addressing people his age or my parents' age, I think we have an opportunity to just through the fact that I am 35 and am trying to interest myself in the width and breadth of what's available, you know, in terms of audible entertainment in the world. So something like Jack is really, really interesting to me, but so is, you know, the Nashville Bluegrass Band still interesting to me. They're Prairie Home stalwarts. But the doors are wide open to anything good. Anything good. You know, if I can lure someone like Anderson .Paak onto the show, I mean, you can bet I'm gonna do that. Radiohead, but you know, Randy Newman, golly, give it, you know, please.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. I mean, you know, the great pianist Emanuel Ax, for instance, would be so wonderful to have on the show, or someone like Mitsuko Uchida. You know, I mean, I really think that part of the joy, I could even imagine, like, if you heard Mitsuko playing Schubert, and then you heard Anderson .Paak laying the, you know, like that opening track from his new record. I mean, I would find that contrast thrilling, and I think
it'd be incredible.
I think there's a way to present that in such a way to where it is equally thrilling for an Anderson .Paak fan and a Mitsuko Uchida fan. You know, I think that's how I envision the show moving forward. And Garrison and I have talked a lot about that. And of course, the spoken word element will continue to be integral to the success of the show.
Yeah.
I think that swirling dance of music and just the human voice talking to you. I think that is so powerful, and the music makes you want the comedy, and the comedy makes you want the music. And you know, as a pretty constant musical guest on the show, I've always found the environment that Garrison created to be kind of as flattering a context for music as could possibly be imagined.
Yeah.
And if the show were to become exclusively a musical variety show, it would lose that. It would be less exciting to hear music if that's all you were hearing. And so you know, these spoken word guests that we're having, that's so important. We're retaining the radio acting company. We've secured the help of a few new writers. You know, I think a lot of people don't know that Garrison actually wrote almost every word that they heard on the show. Almost every word. Occasionally he had a little help, but not much. I mean, we're talking well above 90%.
Wow.
And you know, which brings up another thing that's very important to me, which is that I am not looking to do what Garrison did, to replace Garrison Keelan. No one could do that. He is one in a billion. And trying to host the show in the same way that he did that is a recipe for disaster right there.
Well, one thing I always enjoyed about the show, and it kind of goes into what you're saying earlier, with the show having, you know, this creative seasonal feel, you know, where different seasons would bring one thing, and it could have been, you know, Garrison's, upbringing, but at different points bringing in like hymns with like the liturgical calendar, and even when they did their final show, they did at the Coliseum, they did a hymn. Is faith and religious music and hymns, do you still see that playing a part in the show?
I do, because it plays a part in American life. And Garrison found a way to make that inclusive, because he was constantly also questioning religion, but it still factors heavily into life, and there are American life, anyone's life, because of it being an undeniable part of what formed America. Yeah. So we all have a relationship with it in some form or another, whether we're atheists or born again, or Muslim or Jewish, or everyone has those questions. Atheism, of course, is its own religion. Even agnosticism is. If you get to the point where you're naming it, you have some belief there. Yeah. I think it is all about belief in things that can't necessarily be proven. And I think that is to be human, and I love it. I don't know what religion means to me anymore, and I think increasingly in our day and age, people don't really know often where they stand. Some people do, and I think that's wonderful. As long as they're not pelting their fellow man with where they stand. Yeah. I think that's great. And I do think that things like, I think the show that Garrison created, I think Prayer Hymn Companion itself has a church-like role to a certain extent. It comes on from 5 to 7 on Saturday evenings. It has always been geared towards families as a whole. And there's this communal aspect, the seasonal aspect of things. This is what it's like to be alive right now. There are issues that we're all dealing with. We're, here in America, we're all, we're just enveloped in this very intense election. And we both want to talk about it and want to escape from it. Yeah. And I think that a show like Prayer Hymn Companion is uniquely situated to be of service in times like that. We can provide a place to escape from the cares of the day, but also to hold them out for examination and ultimately celebration.
One thing that I always appreciated that the show did, whether it was talking, whether it was their references to religion or the humor, everything seemed to be handled with a sense of reverence, and there was no cynicism, which is just so refreshing. I feel like
I agree with you, and I feel like some people sometimes, Garrison can be kind of sardonic or something like that, but he is not. Ultimately, Garrison is, in my opinion, he is a lover of things, not a hater of things. And I think that was clear, like in the way that he would describe, biting into a summer tomato, or in the way that he would sing one of these hymns, whatever he thought about the faith of his youth, he respected the idea of faith in general, of all faiths, and all beliefs. And I think, ultimately believed that human beings are capable of great good and are looking for the good in the world. If there's anything I would like to continue doing, it's that. It's providing a soundboard for the good and beautiful things that people make for each other. In that search for meaning. These songs that we write, these stories that we tell, the jokes that we make, they are born of this uniquely human impulse. Yeah. To care for one another and to please one another, thereby I think extracting some meaning out of all this, some definite meaning, like this isn't nothing. This isn't nothing, like that this beautiful thing that you made. This is something. This means something. Maybe I don't know what exactly, but it means something. And here it is. And thank you. And I love this.
That was Chris Thile.
Love him.
Make sure to check him out on the all-new Prairie Home Companion starting this weekend.
I had a keeper. He helped me warn the ships at sea. We had grown closer till his joy meant everything to me. And he was to marry a girl who shone with beauty and light. And they loved each other, and with me watched the sunsets into night. And the winds crashing around me, and the sand slips out to sea. And the winds that blow remind me of what has been.
You're listening to our last guest. It's Nickel Creek with the song The Lighthouse's Tale. Okay, so earlier in the show, you got to meet Rebecca Flores, our new managing editor. And,
nice.
And we, in this segment, we have a new debate coming up. And we're bringing on to the show Chelsea Steele. Who has just joined our team as content producer. She's going to be doing a lot of the social media, a lot of the brand and voice and personality stuff. If you follow us on Instagram, the Insta story, Snapchat, the Snapchat stuff, all the stuff that you're going to get to know Chelsea. But while we have an actual thing coming up in a couple minutes, before that, we wanted to get to know you. Welcome to the show, Chelsea Steele.
Hello, listeners.
We want the audience to get to know you.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
So happy to have you.
When we first met her and started talking about the opportunity, we're like, hey, we have this podcast you should listen to. So she's been catching up on 11 years of podcasts.
Really
no
fun.
pressure.
You all are really enjoyable.
Between us girls, how many of you really listen to?
Probably the last 10 episodes.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Right, like you're good.
I've had enough of you people.
Right, I think we're good to go.
You've been living in Nashville the last few
I
years.
have last 4 years.
Yeah, and people may know you because of Instagram phenomenon that's been happening. These shirts that you've seen, LaCroix over boys.
Yes.
Are made and was originated and made by Chelsea.
It is true.
It's
Hello.
her thing.
Did you make a lot of different shirts or just
Just the one. Yeah, I lived in a house with 5 girls and we bought LaCroix as much as any other household item that we needed.
Right.
And I made the joke one day, like, who needs a boy when you have LaCroix?
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
So you've started a t-shirt company with one shirt.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
it did really well.
LaCroix picked it up.
Yeah, LaCroix loved it.
Wow.
Bloomberg Business Review happened to write an article about the stocks rising in LaCroix and they used my stock photo. That circled the internet. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's really
Business
amazing.
Insider, a lot of big ways.
Are you like super nervous about the next idea? Because like you really is it going to be like soda
It's
over
Diet Coke.
Right.
Hoda?
Diet Coke ain't no joke.
Soda over Hoda.
Yeah.
No way.
And it's Kathy Lee
I
on
would
the
take
shirt.
Hoda over soda any day.
You would take Hoda over soda?
100%.
Oh yeah,
Hoda
totally.
has some super, and I'm sure you know this, some emotional. We talked about this on the show, but she has got like a death emotionally inside of her. She says things like, "I want to cry, but I've never seen her cry."
Totally.
But are you worried your only customer is Kathy Lee at that point?
I'd buy a
Hoda over soda,
Hoda
or
over
soda
soda.
over yeah.
I've got things. Bubbles over Bros.
Good one.
Topo Chico over Chicos.
So, but you're sticking is basically the
Bread
next
over
line.
being dead.
Right. Is the next
That's awesome.
is the line always going to be for you drink over this other thing?
No, I'm
You have some.
looking to
You
move
have some new
forward.
ones.
Yeah, I've got some new ones.
One says gal.
Yes, I have. So my company that owns LaCroix Over Boys is called Hey Gal Pal, and it's about supporting other women in business. So I make shirts that say support your local gal pal. So that's great.
That seems good.
Do you have a theory about why, because I love LaCroix and all of my female friends love LaCroix, why it's such a phenomenon for women?
I do. I think it's a vice for soda. A lot of people who don't want to drink soda for whatever reason drink carbonated water. That was a nice little soundbite we got there.
Diet Coke.
That was
no
me
joke.
drinking a Diet.
Are we being sponsored right now?
Yeah, Diet Coke over. You'll get it. You just
Okay.
workap that.
Diet Coke.
Over blokes
I'm not joking.
nailed it.
Diet Coke over blokes.
for our European listeners.
Oh, that's good.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why I got on my kick when I did the Whole30 last summer.
Oh, you did? Of course you did.
Yeah, I don't have a dad
I lasted
bod for
6
summer.
days, Chelsea.
Did you? You made it 6 full days? That surprises me.
The whole
Yeah,
6.
I did the whole 6. And I got to be honest, everyone tells you how great you're going to feel. I felt like death was moments away.
Maybe it's because you punctuated it with your evening Baskin Robbins run. Like your body just basically was dying.
Yeah.
All right. So we are excited to have you on the team. Your creativity and entrepreneurial spirit will be very valued here.
I cannot wait to be a part of your lady shirt company.
And I did want to keep talking to you about LaCroix for like 10 more minutes, but we'll move on.
Yeah, we got to move on. Okay, so a lot happened this week, and namely the town hall debate. We felt like there was unfinished business. And so we thought we should go to you, Chelsea, being the voice of the people and the moderator, went on the Relevant Podcast Twitter this week and asked you guys for your questions for the Town Hall Debate 2, The Reckoning. These are the questions that Ken Bone didn't have the courage to ask. And so
That's right.
here they are.
Kenny.
It's time for Town Hall Debate 2, The Reckoning.
Town Hall Debate 2, The Reckoning.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
No clapping, please.
Not welcome,
Please
not
hold-
accepted.
Please hold your applause to the end. Viewers have been streaming it on Twitter. Kiki is dumb wants to know, what is your policy in place? What do you plan to do about the clown problem? The clown epidemic.
It's funny. I actually emailed both Eddie and Joy some of my plans about this clown problem, but they deleted them because they're good at deleting emails. You're going to jail. Both of you going to jail.
Please hold back your anger. You have about 5 more seconds.
It doesn't matter with their position because they're going to be in prison as soon as I'm in power.
First of all, moderator, thank you so much for your question, for being a model citizen.
Yeah.
And for just caring deeply about our democracy. My position has always been since the beginning that the fear of clowns has nothing to do with clowns, but it's the fear that we hold within ourselves. We are the ones... I think I've lost my train of thought here, but we inside of us, the change needs to happen to us within society.
Can I get a word in here?
I have
this
brought,
is
and in the gallery are 5 clowns from Jesse's past that has absolutely, that Jesse has paraded off into this absolute hypocrisy.
Moving on to our next question. Thank you.
Wait, what about me? What about me? Is it
Do I not get my time?
Joy, you have 5 seconds to respond.
Do I have 30 seconds? She gets 30 seconds. I get 30 seconds.
Joy's Nader.
Third party right here.
Joy, continue.
I would just like to, calmly note that both Jesse and Eddie did go 30 seconds over each. Whatever. I'm not going to make a stink about it. I might also like Kiki is dumb to know that I am making eye contact with her right now and nodding my head. And I just want to say that right when I get into office, I will personally reach out to Bozo the Clown and we will together travel the country and just rebrand this negativity that's around. Thank you. My time's up.
Lying.
Awesome.
You can fact check this.
We have fact checks streaming live right now.
EddieKaufholz.com. You can fact check.
Jesse.
I'm going to have a big tent. Wrigley Brothers pay for it.
Right. Okay. At Huge Ship wants to know.
Classic.
Back in August, Burger King released their Whopperito. And so we want to know what your stance is on the Whopperito, if you think that the Whopper is using their burger privilege to cross over into making burritos now that tacos and burritos are cool.
I will build a wall around every single Burger King that does not allow any Whopperitos out and does not let us go in, because this is not the America that we want. Burgers stay burgers, burritos stay burritos.
How are you supposed to get your Burger King burger if there's a wall around it?
Hey, I'm going to make Burger King pay for it. I don't even have to think about details.
I am more of a fried chicken guy. I like to eat it with a fork and a knife on a plane, and I don't need weird. I am for traditional fast food.
Traditional
fast food.
Oh, that's good.
At Huge Ship, I would like to just thank you for that great question. And I just want to say that for the past 30 years, I have actually been working to bring burritos and Whoppers together. So I am all for this happening, and I will continue to champion Burger King to this end. Thank you.
I would like to say that I actually wrote a fantastic book, great book, People need to
We'd
read
love
the
to
book.
hear all about it, Jesse, but we're actually
meal.
out of time.
Hey,
so.
do I get,
Art of the meal.
get to
People
respond?
need to check it out.
Art of the meal.
All right. Well, you know what?
The art of the meal.
Clever. You know what? I get it. It's 5 against 1 here. So go ahead. Finish your debate. Just go for it. Do whatever you need to do.
Last question.
Sad.
The viewers are dying to know, as well as America, really, is there anything at all that any of you have to say respectfully about the other?
I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to start. 5 years ago, I called the viewers, and we had a private conversation, and I said, in no uncertain terms, no, I don't have anything nice to say about the other two. I've said no, that I don't have anything nice to say since the beginning. It's been very, very clear that I've never had anything nice to say about them. I have never said I do have anything nice to say about them. My position has always been no. I talked to Sean Hannity about that.
If there's one thing people know about me, it's that I'm humble. Everyone says
I got
that.
one. I like Joy's husband.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, on that same note, I was going to say that the thing I respect about Jesse and Eddie is that they both have successessfully sired 2 children each and kept them
wrong
alive.
Liar.
This is very helpful. I think finished the conversation that America was wanting to have. That we were cut a little short last week on the 90-minute format. So I was glad we were able to add this. Thanks for moderating this, Chelsea. You did a great job.
You did a great job,
You did a really, really good job.
You made the podcast great again. You're a great American.
Yeah, you make podcasting great again.
All right, that'll do it for
Town Hall Debate 2, the Reckoning.
I think that went well. All right, stay tuned. Up next, feedback.
Fine, I'ma need you to forgive me if I seem too vulnerable.
What you believe matters. What you value matters. So where you bank should matter too. Every dollar you put in a bank or credit union is used for something. And at Evangelical Christian Credit Union, your money is only used to support Christian ministry that aligns directly with your values and beliefs. At ECCU, every dollar you spend or save is supporting ministry like loans to churches and banking services for missionaries. Ask yourself, what does your current bank do with your money? If you don't know the answer or don't like the answer, it may be time for a change. Visit www.eccu.org to see our competitive checking, savings, credit cards, and auto loans. That's www.eccu.org. Or call 1-800-634-ECCU to learn more about how your money can build ministry.
You have to know I need you here. Say something so I know that you care for, like I care for you.
You're listening to Toulouse? I don't know. How would you say it? It's Toulouse.
I don't know.
Toulouse. Toulouse. There you go. The song is So I Know You Care. Okay, it's time for your feedback. No corrections and apologies this week. You
Probably will be next week.
Yeah. Last week, we got talking about, I don't know how we got on this, but if hypothetically you were able to just kind of land on an extra $20,000 and you weren't allowed conditionally to use it for anything responsible, what would you spend your $20,000 on? What frivolous item would you spend your 20K on? You guys went over to the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. You also hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast with some of your ideas. Now, I'll just say, you guys are going to read some. I'll just say 99% of them were they're going to buy goggle stock. So,
PC Walker said he would buy everything he could from the Holy Land sale and put it all on Outreach Mag's lawn because those jerks have it coming.
Oh, that's great.
Your move, Outreach. Someone said they would buy 20,000 pairs of Curry 2s on eBay. Are they going for $1 now? Because that's I would buy
low, sell
at
high.
least 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Addison said, one whole shopping cart of groceries from Whole Foods.
I like this one. I would build a sweet tree house, a hobbit hole, and an unnecessary secret passage involving a sliding bookshelf, spiral staircase, and hidden room. That is a fantastic idea.
That is a fantastic idea.
And the painting and a painting with the eye holes poked out.
Danny said obvious, and this was, the obvious answer is with the $20K, I would get dental surgery and add a third tooth to the front of my mouth, just like Nick Jonas, who has 3 front teeth.
When I was in Montana, I don't know how it came up, but his name came up, and I was like telling the guys in the car, I was like, he has 3 front teeth, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, everybody knows this. And so I Googled, Nick Jonas teeth and showed it around. And it was like one of these BC AD moments in your life. When you see the 1, 2, 3 picture for the first time, there's no going back. You can't unsee it,
Spencer said he'd buy he spent $20,000 on an auction to put thrones in the podcast room to really class up the joint.
That's right. We got one. We should fill it.
Jeff said he would take the $20,000 and he'd fly him and Eddie in a helicopter to land on the DC Talk cruise. No tickets needed. I'm pretty sure there's plenty for sale, Jeff. So you can just spend your $20,000 there.
Yeah, they've been saying
they can get the presidential suite.
Whoever's doing their marketing, it's like, hey, for 6 months you can't say we're almost sold out. Only a few rooms left, because they keep saying that. I'm like, hey,
you're not all sold out.
Yeah, Andrew said that he would spend $20,000 to fund an indie film, much like Crazy Heart or The Wrestler, about Gallagher's twilight years in a comedy. Let me just say, Andrew, that's a terrible idea. You don't want to spend a lot of time with that man right
now. Because he just holds the huge smasher in his right hand.
It's called a mallet.
Mallet.
Yeah, sledgehammer.
Having a hard time with real basic words today.
All right. Well, there's a lot more ideas, and we like all of them. It's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
Well, it's the middle of October. We got 2 weeks till Halloween. Halloween's on a Monday this year, which is weird. But it got us thinking about Halloween costumes.
I'm going to get started on that.
And what are you going to be this year? Do you know?
I am going to be just a podcast host. Once again,
I'm going to be 3 front teeth.
So you're going as Nick Jonas.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I'm just going as his 3 front teeth.
Yeah,
I'm gonna me and 2 friends.
Oh yeah,
each going as a tooth.
You're each in a tooth. I like that. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Eve and Lucy are going to be. Lucy's going to be a ladybug because, of course, Eve is going to be Gabby Douglas.
Oh, yeah, of course.
She's got her whole outfit. She's ready to go.
Really?
She's basically Gabby Douglas every day.
That's awesome.
Practicing flips, getting her hair right. She loves it. It's going to be great.
That's great. We want to know, for this week's question of the week, your best, most clever, most memorable Halloween costumes that you've done. Now, or maybe you have a great idea for this year and you want to share that too.
Yeah.
We're all ears. But we want to hear your best Halloween costume stories and ideas. And
I really want to hear it because I'm still undecided.
Well, just go as Ken Bone like everybody else.
Yeah. He's going to be, a red sweater and glasses, and you kind of...
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, though.
It is, yeah. Until you show up at the Halloween party and there's 17 other Ken Bones there.
There's a bunch of Ken Bones there.
All right, so hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your best Halloween costume stories, past, present, or future, at the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Many thanks to the show's sponsors for making this episode possible. Remember, at Casper.com/relevant, you can get $50 towards any mattress purchase, and then you can use promo code relevant and get that. And also, thanks to Uniqlo. Go to uniqlo.com. That's UNIQLO.com to find a store near you.
Yeah.
And Uniqlo Lifewear. Simple, made better.
It's Halloween and we'll be gone.
Thanks to our guest, Chris Thile, for joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris, Thile, Thile. And remember, his first show as a new host of Prairie Home Companion airs on October 15th.
Gonna be great.
And thanks to Chelsea and Rebecca for saying yes to our employment offer.
Love
and
showing
up and playing along with us. I look forward to getting them more and more involved on the show. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And remember, if you like the show, go over to iTunes and tell us about it. Post reviews there. It helps the show's visibility, and we appreciate it. And while you're online, go over to relevantmagazine.com and subscribe to the magazine. The new issue is out now, and if you subscribe today, there's some special offers going on for the holiday season. So check that out. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Kaufholz.
Chandler Strang.
I'm Joy Eggertreed.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm surprised you didn't try to one-up his Garrison Keillor.
Mine's so much better.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Connect with us on Twitter @RelevantPodcast and get bonus material from this episode and more at the podcast section on relevantmagazine.com. And don't forget to check the magazine out. It's available on newsstands and at the iTunes App Store, or you can subscribe online at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Yeah, the dome lights come on. Dome light check. Dome light check.